Hallelujah.
Hey!
We both said it. Hey, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Hey, family. Hey, family. Welcome back to Story Time.
Story time. Story time.
I am your girl, Vonnie. It is good to see you on this Shabbat.
Yes.
Such a blessing. We didn't see many of them, but we ain't seen this one before.
No.
And listen, like you said, we over under an open heaven.
Yes.
Listen, your angels is right there. You can just go ahead and talk to them.
Just talk to them. What
They're
up,
there.
dude?
What's up, ma'am? Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Angels over here chilling, okay? Just chilling. Welcome back, you guys. It's so good to see you all. If you don't know who my co-host is none other than Auntie Shelly on the beat.
But
That's right. I do it for the community, no longer for myself. I hope you felt some type of way when you heard that bump. As in always, when we hit a nice little Shabbat day, we come to you with Jubilees 2 and 18, and we read that thing all the way to the 22nd verse.
Yes. So we know what it's all about.
So what I want you to do is come in a room and listen to what is about to be shared, okay? All right. So Jubilees 2 and 18, and it reads, "And he gave us a great sign, the Sabbath." The what? The Sabbath. That we should work 6 days, but guard the Sabbath on the seventh day from all work. And all the angels of the presence and all the angels of sanctification, these two great classes he has bidden us to guard the Sabbath with him in heaven and on earth. And he said unto us, he said, "Behold, I will separate unto myself a people from amongst all the peoples, and these shall guard the Sabbath. And I will sanctify them unto myself as my people, and will bless them as I have sanctified the Sabbath, and do sanctify it unto myself. Even so will I bless them, and they shall be my people, and I will be their Elohim." Okay? "And I have chosen the seed of Jacob," you in there, "from amongst all that I have seen, and have written him down as my firstborn son, and have sanctified him unto myself forever and ever. And I will teach them the Sabbath, that they may guard the Sabbath thereon from all work. And thus he created therein a sign in accordance with which they should guard the Sabbath with us on the seventh day, to eat and to drink, and to bless him who has created all things, as he has blessed and sanctified unto himself a peculiar people." That's you. "Above all peoples, and that they should guard the Sabbath together with us." Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Now, yesterday you all got the opportunity to see Auntie Shani.
Yes.
So she actually was here, and she's going to be here every Wednesday and Thursday because my schedule has changed. And listen, clap it up because they did a wonderful job. Okay, they did a wonderful job. Y'all have me rolling. Okay. Rolling in that thing. Happy birthday to Auntie Shani.
Yes.
By the way, it is her birthday, so happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Good to see you, love. And so we're going to do a recap.
What did we talk about yesterday?
You know, I don't know. It was good. I did enjoy it.
Okay, just keep talking.
So yeah. So if you don't know, what are we reading? We're reading the second book of Baruk, and we're reading from the Cepher Bible right here. So we got this book on cepherbible.net, not .com, because if you search it, you won't find it, okay? But what we didn't do is pay full price for it. Use your Storytime discount. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. Remember that the O in the word story is actually a 0, and then the E in the word time is actually a 3 as we're going back to the covenant. All right. With that being said, we're going to get in and dive into our recap.
Yes, I remember what stuck out to me when he was praying.
Okay.
So he's praying to Yahuwah, and he's, telling Yahuwah, "I know you're the creator." And all those nods was getting me. Like he was telling Yahuwah, you just nodded and they obeyed you. Like, y'all know how we like to do this.
Absolutely.
You over there.
Absolutely. I do that to my kids. I'm like,
and they know.
And they do.
They know. Y'all know sometimes a ruach can give you a look too, like, too, really. Did you really just say that to me? Without saying that? Nah.
Check.
We ain't doing that. Check. But what really stood out to me when it was talking about this phantasmata.
What is that?
And it means a perception of something that has no physical reality.
Wow.
So don't miss that, because that's what meta is.
Ooh.
It has no physical reality. How they know that way back?
Wow.
And we think they just didn't know. It was
y'all getting exfoliated today.
Phantasmata.
Wow.
He said this was gonna happen. They're gonna get this phantasmata.
And people are buying into that.
They're buying something that has a figment of the mind, especially a specter or a ghost.
Wow.
It's like what's the name of those movies? Matrix.
Yeah, Matrix. Wow.
But that's what Facebook is trying to do. They want you hooked up to this meta. And they're gonna you all seen like a lot of things that they put them things and you just in a dark room and
absolutely. I've actually been doing that. You remember when I went into that VR thing?
Oh,
ready to tear some stuff up, okay?
Yeah.
That was my reality.
Yep.
How dare you come for my whole life?
Yep. You just sit in a dark room, order DoorDash.
And that's it.
And you stay in your world and you think it's real, but really you're just sitting in a room.
That's it. By yourself.
And that's what they're trying to get us to, because that's gonna keep us happy, and we're gonna sit down and we're gonna obey, and they're gonna be in charge out there playing golf and skiing around and having fun.
Wow.
And that's how they plan to control the world.
Wow.
Way back in Baruk. See, that's why, Baruk, you asking questions, but you ain't gonna get it because you don't know what that is.
Yeah, you don't know because we're here.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, you're thinking of it in a totally different way. We see it. It's here.
It's here. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yep.
So what? Okay.
So we're just talking about judgment, what the judgments between the two, what the righteous will go through and what the unrighteous will go through. That's why we was coming to that conclusion to just keep the Torah.
Keep the Torah. And with that being said, I hope you enjoyed that little recap. We're actually, those of you who have the book, we're going to start on 968. And again, we're reading from the Cepher Bible and the Baruk, the second book of Baruk. Excuse me. And I'm going to go on chapter 51, verse 7. Actually, I'll just start from chapter 51. Why not? All right. And it shall come to pass when that appointed day has gone by, then shall the aspect of those who are condemned be afterwards changed, and the glory of those who are justified. For the aspect of those who now act wickedly shall become worse than it is, as they shall suffer torment. Also, as for the glory of those who have now been justified in my Torah, who have had an understanding in their life, and who have planted in their heart the root of wisdom, then their shall be glorified in changes, and the form of their face shall be turned into the light of their beauty, that they may be able to acquire and receive the world which does not die, which is then promised to them. For over this above all shall those who come then lament that they rejected my Torah and stopped their ears. Wow. That they might not hear wisdom or receive understanding. When therefore they see those over whom they are now exalted, but who shall then be exalted and glorified more than they shall respectively be transformed, the latter into the splendor of angels, and the former shall yet more waste away, and wonder at the visions, and in the beholding of the forms. For they shall first behold, afterwards depart to be tormented.
We're talking about, so there's two people where our bodies are going to be changed. Remember, like in Isaiah, so our bodies are going to be changed, and they're going to see it. And he said, you over them now, but you're going to see this change come over them. They're going to go, up in beauty, you're going to go down because you're descending and they're ascending.
Wow.
And you're going to see it after you admit who Mashiach is.
Every knee shall bow.
Then you're going down.
This elevator is going down.
Bye-bye.
Bye. But those who have been saved by their works, and to whom the Torah has been now a hope and understanding and expectation and wisdom, a confidence, shall wonders appears in their life in their time. For they shall behold the world which is now invisible to them, and they shall behold the time which is now hidden from them. And the time shall no longer age them. For in the heights of that world shall they dwell, and they shall be made like unto the angels, and be made equal to the stars, and they shall be changed into every form they desire, from beauty into loveliness, and from light into the splendor of glory. For there shall be spread before them the extent of paradise, and there shall be shown to them the beauty of the majesty of the living creatures which are beneath the throne, and all the armies of the angels who are now held fast by my word, lest they should appear, and are held fast by a command, that they may stand in their places till their advent comes.
We're going to be seeing everything.
Everything. We are in chapter 51, and we're on verse 12.
Everything, all the majesty of paradise. Like, I'm sure some things in paradise that even Adam and Chua didn't even see.
Oh, yeah.
For the 7 years they was there because they had to leave. It was probably more good stuff to see.
Absolutely. And they just didn't even get to experience it all. But what they did experience was enough to keep them trying to go back and kill them.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Adam died like 18 times.
Okay? Yeah, man, that brother.
He was going through it. Verse 12. Moreover, there shall then be excellency in the righteous, surpassing that the angels. For the first shall receive the last, those whom they were expecting, and the last those of whom they used to hear that they had passed away. For they have been delivered from this world of tribulation, and laid down the burden of anguish. For what then have men lost their life, and for what have those who were on the earth exchanged their soul? For then they chose not for themselves this time which beyond the reach of anguish could not pass away, but they are full of limitations and evils.
Did you skip the whole one?
I did. Going back to 16, excuse me, my eyes playing tricks. 16. Well, it's good to see you. This okay, Auntie Linda, it's fine. She's oh my, I'm late. All right, verse 16. We're in chapter 51, Linda, and then we're on verse 16 because I skipped the whole line. All right, verse 16. For then they chose not for themselves this time which beyond the reach of anguish could not pass away, but they chose for themselves that time whose issues are full of limitations and evils. And they denied the world which ages not those who come to it. And they rejected the time of glory, so that they shall not come to the honor of which I told you before.
Man, choose, because this is not a joke.
Whom you gonna
It's not
serve?
a joke.
And sadly, like it's been put out there like it is. Like you can do whatever you live it up. YOLO.
You only live once.
YOLO. To the fullest and watch your soul be gone. Chapter 52. And I answered and I said, come on, question. How can we forget those whom woe is then reserved? And why therefore do we again mourn for those who die? Or why do we weep for those who depart to Sheol? Let lamentation be reserved for the beginning of that coming torment, and let the tears be laid up for the advent of the destruction of that time. But even in the face of those things will I speak, and as for the righteous, what will they do now? Rejoice ye in the suffering which ye now suffer. For why do ye look for the decline of your enemies? Make ready your soul for that which is reserved for you, and prepare your souls for the reward which is laid up for you.
Yeah. Don't get too consumed in anything about your enemy. What's going to happen to them?
Not your business.
Not your business. Not your business. Pray for them.
Let it go.
They come or they don't. You just make sure you got it together.
Right.
It's not your business what happens.
That verse,
they had a chance.
That verse simply says, stay in your lane.
Stay in your lane.
Don't come over there. All right. Chapter 53. And when I had said these things, I fell asleep there, and I saw a vision, and lo, a cloud was ascended from a very great sea, and I kept gazing upon it, and lo, it was full of waters, white and black, and there were many colors in those self-same waters. And as it were the likeness of a great lightning was seen at its summit. And I saw the cloud passing swiftly in quick courses, and it covered all the earth. And it came to pass after these things that the cloud began to pour upon the earth the waters that were in it. And I saw that there was not one and the same likeness in the waters which descended from it. For in the first beginning they were black, and many for a time. And afterwards I saw that the waters became bright, but they were not many. And after these things again I saw black waters. And after these things again bright, and again black, and again bright. How this was done 12 times. But the black were always more numerous than the bright. Yeah. And it came to pass at the end of the cloud that, lo, it rained black waters, and they were darker than had been all those waters that were before, and fire was mingled with them. And where those waters descended, they wrought devastation and destruction.
Wow.
And after these things, I saw how that lightning, which I had seen on the summit of the cloud, seized hold of it and hurled it to the earth. Now that lightning shone exceedingly, so as to illuminate the whole earth, and it healed those regions where the last waters had descended and wrought devastation. And it took hold of the whole earth and dominion over it. And I saw after these things, and lo, 12 rivers were ascending from the sea, and they began to surround that lightning and to become subject to it. And by reason of my fear, I woke. Wow.
I think I know what this is about. I ain't sure though, so
you don't want to say it.
I mean,
anybody else want to give your thoughts on this?
Because he's scared. I'm thinking because he was talking about everything was getting darker and darker, and then the lightning. Because remember, it says, "Behold, I saw Satan fall like a lightning." Because remember, he has to. He got kicked out like permanently. And so I'm not sure. At first I thought, okay, it got brighter, so then everything's over. But now he says he saw it with fear. So I don't know what kind of fear he's talking about.
Like a
reverence
respect
or fear or no.
Like I think he said when he woke that thing up, he woke him up.
Yeah.
Then maybe it's a little fear. I was thinking of maybe like us falling deeper and deeper into sin, and maybe a few of us being righteous.
Yeah, I saw that at the beginning.
And then how it overtakes, and I saw the Mashiach as the lightning, because how he like healed those areas that the waters had touched.
Yeah.
But it may not even be. Remember the last vision? I was like, yes.
I was thinking that too, because then it had like the 12 rivers, and I was like,
absolutely.
Oh. But then I said, why does he have fear? Is this a good fear?
Anybody else want to take your best shot? Okay, I'll just get into it. Yeah. First, verse 20. I mean, lied on accident. Verse 54, chapter 54. And I besought El Elohim and said, you alone, O Yahuwah, know of aforetime the deep things of the world, and the things which befall in their times you bring about by your word, and against the works of the inhabitants of the earth you hasten the beginnings of the times, and the end of the seasons you alone know. You, for whom nothing is too hard, but who does everything easily by nod. There's that nod. You to whom the depths come as the height, and whose word the beginnings of the ages serve. You who reveal to those who fear you what is prepared for them, that thenceforth they may be comforted. You show great acts to those who know not. You break up the enclosure of those who are ignorant, and light up what is dark, and reveal what is hidden to the pure who in faith have submitted themselves to you and your Torah. You have shown to your servant this vision. Reveal to me also its interpretation. For I know that as regards those things wherein I besought you, I have received a response, and as it regards what I besought you, did reveal to me with what voice I should praise you, and from what members I should cause praises and hallelujahs to ascend to you. For if my members were mouths, and the hairs of my head voices, even so I could not give you the meat of praise, nor the laud you as is befitting, nor could I recount your praise, nor tell your glory of your beauty. For what I amongst men, or why am I reckoned amongst those who are more excellent than I, that I have heard all these marvelous things from El Elyon and numberless promises from him who created me? Blessed be my mother among those that bear, and praise among women be she that bore me. For I will not be silent in praising El Elohim. And with the voice of praise I will recount his marvelous deeds. For who does like unto your marvelous deeds, O Elohim? Or who comprehends your deep thought of life? For with your counsel you do govern all the creatures which your right hand has created, and you have established every fountain of light beside you, and the treasures of wisdom beneath your throne have you prepared. And justly do they perish who have not loved your Torah, and the torment of the judgment shall await those who have not submitted themselves to your power. For though Adam first sinned and brought untimely death upon all, yet of those who were born from him, each one of them has prepared for his own soul torment to come. And again, each one of them has chosen for himself glories to come. For surely he who believes will receive reward. But now, as for you, ye wicked that now are, turn ye to destruction, because ye shall speedily be visited. In that formerly ye rejected the understanding of Elyon. For his works have not taught you, nor has the skill of his creation, which is at all times persuaded you. Adam is therefore not the cause, save only of his own soul, but each of us has been the Adam of his own soul. But you, O Yahuwah, me too, I like that. Do expound to me regarding those things which you have revealed to me, and inform me regarding that which I besought you. For at the consummation of the world, vengeance shall be taken upon those who have done wickedness according to their wickedness, and you will glorify the faithful according to their faithfulness. For those who are amongst your own, you rule, and those who sin you blot out from amongst your own.
Let me say something about Baruk.
I like it.
Baruk, you asking one question, what does vision mean? You went all up into all this praise, all this. Oh,
that's
how it started off. That's how it be sometime. That's just how it be sometime.
And then you like 45 minutes. Then pass.
You wake up and look at not wake up, but you get up and look at the clock like, I've been praying that long. I couldn't help it. Because you would ask a question, say, help me when I sleep or something. But you end up doing the whole praise thing.
And like cursing those, like pretty much like you like those that ain't a part of it
ain't a part of it.
A part of
and
it.
Don't get to try to be blaming Adam. Adam responsible for his soul, and you responsible for your own. You're the Adam of your own soul. I'm gonna blame him for everything.
Wow. I'm not responsible in that.
Yes.
In that, as far as I can't make you do anything.
Right. You can't blame stuff on your mama, your daddy. You can't say, "Who my mama did this to me?" Okay, your mama gonna pay for what she did, and you gonna pay for what you did.
That's right. Ooh wee, this is good.
Mm-hmm. Come on, Baruk.
Shall we? Okay, we shall. Chapter 55. And it came to pass when I had finished speaking the words of this prayer that I sat there under a tree, that I might rest in the shade of the branches.
You just kick it back now.
But even you under the Most High.
Yeah.
And even the last time he was under a tree.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I wondered and was astonished and pondered. There goes that ponder. When you ponder some things, you got to get some revelation.
Yep.
Okay? And I wondered and was astonished and pondered in my thoughts regarding the multitude of goodness which sinners who are upon the earth have rejected, and regarding the great torment which they have despised, though they knew that they should be tormented because of the sin they had committed.
He said they know, but they still did it.
Yeah.
They waited and said, "Yeah, I think I'll do it.
Yeah,
it can't be that bad.
I'm not gonna get caught." And when I was pondering on these things and the like, lo, the angel Ramiel, who presides,
new angel name,
presides over true visions. So he is over the visions.
Yeah.
Wow. Who presides over true visions was sent to me, and he said unto me,
who else got a name like Ramiel? Not Jacob's children. That's our name.
Oh, that's us. Yeah, that's all the way us. That's deep. And yeah,
Ramiel, get over here, boy.
And we call him
like Remal or something. Yeah.
Like, what's your nickname? Everybody gonna have a nickname. Let me see. Ramiel, who presides over the true visions, who sent to me, and he said unto me, why does your heart trouble you, Baruk? And why does your thoughts disturb you? For if owing to the report which you have only heard of judgment, you are so moved, what will you be when you shall see it manifestly with your eyes?
Wow. He said, if you can't take that, what's going to happen when you actually see it?
Then he'd be like, man, why are we saying the same thing that my father said to you? Why are you worried about this stuff?
Yeah.
Stop worrying about things that don't belong to you.
Yep.
You keep worrying. Mm-mm. And if with the expectation wherewith you do expect the day of Elohim, you are so overcome, what will you be when you shall come to its event?
Yeah, because it's going to happen. If you wigging out now, it's going to happen when you really see it. And it's right there.
When he tell you, put you right in the smack down and be like, all right, watch.
Are you going to start screaming? What you going to do, dude? Man up.
Yeah, like, suck it up, buttercup. All right. And if at the word of the announcement of the torment of those who have done foolishly, you are so wholly distraught, how much more when the event will reveal marvelous things? And if you have hard tidings of the good and evil things which are then coming and are grieved, what will you be when you shall behold what the majesty will reveal, which shall convict these and cause those to rejoice?
Because no matter how you can try to really, really explain it, it's going to be worse than you think. Them judgments,
absolutely.
When you see them, it's going to be worse than you think.
Absolutely.
Like the you're going to have is going to be better than you think.
Absolutely.
You can't like fully comprehend this.
You're not going to be able to. Yeah, you're not going to be able to. Chapter 56. Nevertheless, because you have besought El Elyon to reveal to you the interpretation of the vision which you have seen, I have been sent to tell you. And El Elohim has assuredly made known you the methods of the times that have passed, and of those that are destined to pass in his world from the beginning and of those which are in truth. For as you did see a great cloud which ascended from the sea, and went and covered the earth, this is the duration of the world which Elohim made when he took counsel to make the world.
So there's a set time.
There's a set
It's
time.
this cloud, this big cloud. Okay.
All right. And it came to pass when the word had gone forth from his presence that the duration of the world had come into being in a small degree, and was established according to the multitude of the intelligence of him who sent it. As you did previously see on the summit of the cloud black waters which descended previously on the earth, this is the transgression wherewith Adam, the first man, transgressed.
Okay.
For since when he transgressed, untimely death came into being. Grief was named, and anguish was prepared, and pain was created, and trouble consummated, and disease began to be established. And Sheol kept demanding that it should be renewed in blood, and the begetting of children was brought about, and was passion of parents produced. And the greatness of men was humiliated, and goodness languished. What therefore can be blacker or darker than these things? This is the beginning of the black waters, which you have seen. And from these black waters again were black derived. And the darkness of darkness was produced. For he became a danger to his own soul, even to the angels became he a danger.
So he was showing him just by that one, like Eric was saying the other day, by that one disobedient act, brought about all this stuff.
Yes, brought about everything, disease.
Yeah. Wow.
Pain,
and Sheol demanded more and more. Give
blood,
me more, give me more bodies. Wow. Okay.
For moreover, at that time when he was created, they enjoyed liberty. And some of them descended and mingled with the women. And we read about
angels.
that.
Yep, fallen angels.
And then those who did so were tormented in chains.
Yep, because if you all remember from Enoch, they had to be thrown into the earth in chains. Okay.
But the rest of the multitude of the angels, of which there is no number, restrained themselves. And those who dwelt on the earth perished to those who dwelt on the earth perished together with them through the waters of the deluge. These are the black first waters.
So that the waters he was thinking of was Noah. He's saying those first children that came from those watchers, they got carried away in the deluge, the black waters, because it was death.
Yes.
It was full of death.
Wow.
Oh, look, we was both off.
I was off. See? And I thought I put my ladder away.
That's why you're supposed to read. That's why you're supposed to read whole chapters.
That's it. Well,
whole thoughts, whole books.
It took 2 chapters to get this understanding, so I was going to be wrong for a while. Chapter 57. And after these waters, you did see bright waters, and this is the fount of Abraham. And listen to me, I'm talking about Mashiach. This is Mashiach coming.
Well, I mean, that's who comes from Abraham, so maybe it's going to lead to that.
Maybe.
Because the promise.
Or it could have been, girl, you thought. Okay? You thought.
I'm just saying. You have the right bus stop if nothing else.
Right. It's just, I wasn't on that. I got you. And after these waters, going back to the first sentence, and after these waters, you did see bright waters. This is the fount of Abraham, also his generation and advert of his son, and his son's son, and of those like them. Because at that time, the unwritten Torah was named amongst them, and the works of the commandments were then fulfilled, and belief in the coming judgment was then generated, and hope of the world that was to be renewed was then built up, and the promise of the life that should come hereafter was implanted. These are the bright waters which you have seen. Yeah, I wasn't close. That bus just went past.
Yeah. But in case you missed verse 2, Because at that
he
time,
was
the
catching
unwritten
Torah.
Torah.
Absolutely.
Unwritten Torah. It was on the inside of Abraham. Because remember, Abraham was celebrating feast days before what's his name? Moses wrote it all down. They were celebrating stuff before it was written down.
Wow.
That's an answer to people who talking about the law is Moses. Moses can't. No, he didn't. Sorry. Abraham.
Yep. Abraham
was celebrating the Torah.
We'll say that thing again. Chapter 58. And the black third waters which you have seen, these are the mingling of all sins, which the nations afterwards wrought after the death of those righteous men, and the wickedness of the land of Egypt, wherein they did wickedly in the service wherewith they made their sons to serve. Nevertheless, these also perished at last. Chapter 59. And the bright fourth water which you have seen are the advent of Moshe and Aaron and Miriam and
Yahusha, which
is
Joshua.
There you go. Joshua, the son of Nun, and Caleb, and of all those like them.
Because remember, Joshua and Caleb was the only two that got to really go into the promised land.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because they believed.
Wow. Yep. For at that time, the lamp of the eternal Torah shone on all of those who sat in darkness, which announced to them that believed the promise of their reward, and to them that denied the torment of fire which is reserved for them. But also the heavens at that time were shaken from their place, and those who were under the throne of Elohim were perturbed, when he was taken Moshe unto himself, for he showed him many admonitions together with the principles of the Torah, and the consummation of the times, as also to you, and likewise the pattern of Zion and its measure, in the pattern of which the sanctuary of the present time was to be made.
So he said when he showed Moshe the pattern of the tabernacle in the wilderness, he's showing you a pattern of how everything's going to be laid out.
Wow.
Look to that tabernacle in the wilderness. He's telling Moses, this is how everything's going to be laid out. From how people come in, what you need to do, all that. Because like when you first come into the court, there's an altar with a lamb. The lamb had to be burning continuously 24/7. It was somebody's job to make sure that lamb without blemish was on that altar 24/7, which of course represents Mashiach till he comes, the lamb. Then you had to cleanse yourself before you walked into the first room. Only priests got in. That's the table of showbread, the altar of incense, which is our prayers, and the table with the candlestick. So the light, the bread, and the prayers. And then behind that curtain is the Holy of Holies, which only the high priest can go in once a year to make atonement for the sins. And that's the one when the high priest went in, they had to tie the rope to his leg.
Oh, yeah, because if you
did anything crazy,
you'd be dead.
They didn't hear them bells ringing, they knew to pull you out by the rope because they wasn't going in there. That's what the Ark of the... He said, this is laid out how this is supposed to go. I showed it to Moses in that tabernacle in the wilderness.
Wow. And the bright fourth waters, right? Because I'm right there. No, I'm not.
Oh, you on 5.
Verse 5. But then also he showed to him the measure of the fire. He's still talking about Moses. Also the depth of the abyss, and the weight of the winds, and the numbers of the drops of the rain, and the suppression of anger, and the multitude of long suffering, and the truth of judgment, and the root of wisdom, and the riches of understanding, and the fount of knowledge, and the height of the air, and the greatness of paradise, and the consummation of ages, and the beginning of the day of judgment. Wow.
Yeah, remember what we were talking about when he took Moshe up to the top of that hill? He saw more than we thought we saw. He saw in that 66 day, he beheld the land and then he died. No, boo.
He saw all
He
of
saw all
this.
this.
That's why he couldn't go back down.
Yeah, you ain't go back down, dude.
No.
He saw
Wow.
all of this.
And the beginning of the and the number of the offerings and the earths which have not yet come, and the mouth of Sheol, and the station of vengeance, and the place of faith, and the region of hope, and the likeness of the future torment, and the multitude of innumerable angels, and the flaming hosts, and the splendor of the lightning, and the voice of the thunders, and the orders of the chief of the angels, and the treasuries of light, and the changes of the times, and the investigations of the Torah. These are the bright fourth waters which you have seen.
And those of you following along with Enoch, Enoch, the angels, the stars, all that,
Yes.
all that. He said they knew all.
Wow.
They knew all that because it was there. Because they did. Enoch, what Noah did, what Enoch told him to, what his granddad told him, took that stuff on the boat, teach it to your kids when you get out. Everybody, pass it down, pass it down, pass it down. They're just passing it down.
Wow.
He said, but I showed it all to Moses before he even left here.
Wow. Ooh. And the black fifth waters which you have seen raining are the works which the Emorium wrought.
Who's the Emorium?
I'm not sure.
Who knows who? Yeah, somebody.
Shani, would you put in the chat who are the Emoriums? And that word is, or that name is Emoriyym. And I'm thinking maybe the fallen angels or the watchers or
maybe
somewhere around there. Because the next sentence.
Yeah, I'm not picking it. Oh, okay.
Are the works of which the Emorium wrought, and the spells of their incantations, which they wrought, and the wickedness of their mysteries, and the mingling of their pollution. But even Yasharel or Israel was then polluted by sins in the days of the judges, though they saw many signs which were from him who made them. So let me see.
So the black fifth waters is the world getting worse and worse and worse, even though they knew better.
Worse and worse and worse.
Yeah, with the works was the Emorium.
I just want to check y'all. See y'all real life, okay?
Emorium.
Let's see if Google will be good and tell me what it is. It's giving me everything but what I need. Is it Emporium? Is giving me, yeah.
Come on, Google. Emorium.
Amorite.
I was just going to say, is it Amorite? I was trying to think what, so it must mean the whole group of, like Amorite is a single, Emorium is.
It says, for the iniquity of the Emorium is not yet filled. So it may be.
Oh, that's Amorites then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, look at us learning together. Amorites.
Oh, yeah, because they were in the land of Canaan.
Okay.
Yeah, so they started doing the same things. Instead of kicking them out, y'all start picking up their ways.
Gotcha. All right. Chapter 61. And the bright six waters which you did see, this is the time in which David and Sholomah were born. And there was at that time the building of Zion, and the dedication of the sanctuary, and the shedding of much blood of the nations that sinned then, and many offerings which were offered then in the dedication of the sanctuary. And peace and tranquility existed at that time, and wisdom was heard in the assembly, and the riches of understanding were magnified in the assemblies. And the holy feasts were fulfilled in blessedness and in much joy. And the judgment of the rulers were then seen to be without guile, and the righteousness of the precepts of Elohim was accomplished with truth. And the land which was then beloved by Yahuwah, and because of its inhabitants sinned not. It was glorified beyond all lands, and the city of Zion ruled then over all lands and regions, These are the bright waters which you have seen.
So he said, during the time of King David and King Solomon, because they followed my Torah and said, we're going to follow Torah up in here.
Right, this is what we're going
You don't
after.
like it, move.
Yeah.
He
We going
said,
after
yeah,
this.
my servant David followed me.
Mm.
People feared him. So he said he rules. Like,
And then peace,
he
it seems
built
like
up
they,
Zion
yeah.
and dedicated the sanctuary because, you know, the temple was built with Solomon. But David got all the stuff together.
Got
David
you.
gathered all these materials because Yahuwah said you can't build it because there's too much blood on your hands. You know, you fight too many army. Or he mean because you killed Bathsheba's husband. I don't know which one it was.
Right.
But Solomon built that temple when his dad, when David died, he built that temple.
Oh, wow.
That first glorious temple that they could never match again. Yeah. With all that gold and yeah.
Bet you was just a beauty.
He said, but they followed me, so they had peace.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. You follow him, you get peace. Chapter 62. And the black seventh waters, which you have seen, this is the perversion brought about by the council of Yarovam,
okay.
Who took counsel to make two calves of gold. And all the iniquities which kings who were after him inquisitively wrought, and the curse of Jezebel, and the worship of idols which Israel practiced at that time, and withholding of rain, and the famines which occurred until women ate the fruit of their wombs. Wow. And the time of their captivities which came upon the 9 tribes and a half, because they were in many sins. And Shalmaneser, king of Asher, came and led them away captive. But regarding the other nations, it was tedious to tell how they always wrought impiety and wickedness and never wrought righteousness. These are the black 7 waters which you have seen.
So yeah, he's explaining how when Solomon died and his son took over, he followed the wrong counsel. And so the nations got split. That's when they got split. So we talked about those 2 golden calves. When they got split, the northern kingdom, that's when that king built those 2 golden calves.
Gotcha.
And he put one in Dan, and then he put the other one, let's say like, I'm going to try to show this to y'all, because I remember I was, so this is Yah's temple, which is in Jerusalem.
Okay.
This is one of the golden calves.
She's getting her artwork right.
Sorry. Trust me, it ain't me. So, now
put it up there.
Oh.
All right, there you go.
Can y'all see that? So basically that second golden calf, he put right in front, not right like dab, like in front of the temple, but because it was miles away. But he made sure if you called yourself going down to the temple, you're going to see this golden calf first.
You.
So there's one way up there that people can go to, but there's some people that live a little closer to Jerusalem.
Yes.
So in case while they're on their way, I'm gonna make sure they see this golden calf first. Because he was scared that if they went to Jerusalem, they would be like, oh no, this is our temple. And because remember, like I think it was Tobiyahu who said, I'm going to the temple.
Yes.
Walked past that little gold calf. Oh no.
Yeah.
He walked past that second one and went to the temple. But that other king was scared. No, because they're gonna turn back. You didn't trust Yahuwah. So you had bad kings all the way throughout. So that's why when the first captivity came and I swept you out the land, the curses, you were the first to go.
Wow.
You're 9.5. I know we've been told 10, but it's 9.5 because now we know that. Because remember, first we didn't know Simeon was in with Judah, the smack of Judah. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. And Levi was always with Judah, always.
Yep, Simeon. I know about Simeon.
Yeah. So he said that's during that time. He said you had no good kings. So I carried you away first.
Mm-hmm. Chapter 63. And the bright 8 waters which you have seen, this is the rectitude and uprightness of Yechizki Yahu, king of Yahuda, and the grace of Elohim which came upon him. And when Kenchirith, sorry y'all, was stirred up in order that he might perish, and his wrath troubled him in order that he might thereby perish, for the multitude also of the nations which were with him. When moreover Yachizkiyahu the king heard all those things which the king of Asher was devising, that he was coming to seize him and destroy his people, the 2.5 tribes which remained, nay, more he wished to overthrow Zion also. Then Yachizkiyahu trusted in his works, and had hope in his righteousness, and spoke to El Elohim, and said, Behold, for lo, Kanshir is prepared to destroy us, and he will be boastful and uplifted when he has destroyed Zion. And El Elohim heard him, for Yachizkiyahu was wise, and he had respect unto his prayer, because he was righteous. And thereupon El Elohim commanded Ramiel, his angel, who speaks with you. And I went forth and destroyed their multitude, the number of whose chief only was 185,000, and each one of them had an equal number of his command.
Wow, that's a lot. I think I remember this.
But we're just kind of talking about the ascension of Isaiah kind of goes into that.
Yeah. So he's saying when they came and took away that northern kingdom,
yes,
they meant to take all of them. But Yahuwah said, no, you're not touching these.
Yeah.
You're not touching this other king because they still serving me.
Look how he got his back.
I don't care how many people you got.
Right. He got your back.
I don't care how many people you got. Go on. Send them.
Send them. I got you. And at that time, I burned their bodies with, and this is the angel telling. He's saying, listen, he sent me and I did what I did.
Yep.
And at that time, I burned their bodies within, but their raiment and arms I preserved outwardly, in order that the still more wonderful deeds of El Elohim might appear, and that thereby his name might be spoken throughout the whole earth.
Can you imagine walking up to a body and the inside of them is all burnt, but the outer part is like, who you can't help but think, what kind of Elohim they got working for them?
Right.
I ain't messing with these people.
I ain't messing with these people.
Bye later. I'm going home. I'm going home, eat some lamb.
Right. I'm going to go home.
Y'all can stay here if you want to.
I'm going to praise him all the way back home.
Yeah, I'm going home. I'll see y'all later.
Y'all see them bodies? Yeah. Verse 9. And Zion was saved, and Jerusalem delivered. And Israel also was freed from tribulation. And all those who were in the Holy Land rejoiced, and the name of Elohim was glorified, so that it was spoken of. These are the bright waters which you have seen, and the black night water which you have seen. This is all going to be discussed on Monday at 6 p.m.
And I was getting into this little interpretation.
This will be discussed. You got to come back on Monday.
Yeah. Come on, Baruk. I'm glad you asked this question.
I'm trying to tell you, because
good answers.
You know who was all kinds of wrong?
Me
and that's
too.
okay. I don't mind.
Yeah.
I don't mind. It was a good one.
Yeah, holding a whole nother thing. See, sometimes it's good to ask questions.
It is. And he be asking tons of questions.
Ask them questions.
But ask them.
Ask anything.
Ask somebody. All right. Well, we hope that you enjoyed this story time, and we are in the second book of Baruk. We hope that you finish up. We're in the 60-something. So keep in mind, he has 85 chapters. So we got some time to go.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We should be done by Monday. Maybe Tuesday.
Yeah, maybe Tuesday. Yeah,
87. So come back on Monday at 6 p.m. as we dive more into the second book of Baruk.
Baruk Shanai.
Baruk Shanai. There you go. Bye. Shalom.
Shalom.
Family.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.